Okay, so The Last of Us 2, the ending. I didn't play the game, but I did watch a playthrough on it, so I'm not gonna be judging the gameplay at all in this game because I only played the first game and I barely played that. So yeah, The Last of Us 2, the ending. I thought the whole game could have been a lot better if they didn't spend so much time humanizing Abby. I feel like them giving us Abby's backstory and why she wanted to kill Joel was good, but once they started making us play as her and once they started introducing characters like Lev and Yara, that's when they started humanizing her to a point where Ellie's goal became like just tainted, I guess you could say. It's like once you started back playing as Ellie and your goal was to kill Abby again, it was almost as if you didn't want to. You do so much with Abby when you play the game, it's almost like, what the fuck? Like, I fought the Rat King with this bitch and I'm just supposed to choke her out in some water? I feel like a good way they could have humanized her and got away with it is if at the ending they showed us, like, instead of just making Abby seem like this victim because she got kidnapped and the people who kidnapped her, the Rattlers, they hung her on the cross, instead of victimizing her to that extent, they could have showed us how Abby and Lev settled down, and then Ellie and Abby get into like a fight or whatever, and in the fight, like, let's say Abby is still fucking buff as fucking she's winning, Ellie gets a flashback to her and Joel and how they made up. Not the flashback that they got, but something different, because I feel like that flashback that Ellie got to where she didn't forgive Joel and she said she would try to forgive him, I feel like that was cool, but it kind of served the wrong purpose because it made Ellie not want to kill Abby. It just kind of defeated the purpose because I was like, what's the fucking point? I really wanted to see them show a Joel and Ellie flashback to where she forgives him fully, and then that gives her little fucking zinc eye boost and she kills Abby and it feels deserved. One thing that they were doing with the game is that they were trying to show that Ellie's revenge was going to consume her and make her a bad person. I feel like that would have been cool if it went both ways though. As Ellie got revenge and killed more and more of Abby's friends, she became more like dark, she became more ruthless. You could see it. But once like Abby got revenge on Joel, she was good. That was it. That was all she needed. She was good. There was no character development after that. Well, it was a little bit, I'll admit. I wish the effects of her killing Joel were just like known. I wish she became a more ruthless person too, because it seemed like when it comes to her ruthlessness, when it comes to Abby's character, she just kind of like stayed the same except for when she took in Lev and Yara. And I feel like Lev and Yara kind of ruined the story, because once you like fucking raise Lev and Yara as Abby, will not raise them, but you know, once you chill with Lev and Yara and then you see Abby develop with these characters, and then you realize once you play as Ellie, you're gonna have to kill Abby and Lev and Yara aren't gonna be cool with it. It was like Lev and Yara were just there to make you feel bad for killing Abby, because if you killed Abby, Lev and Yara were just gonna be there and be like, what the fuck? Well, Yara died, so just Lev, right? He was just gonna be like, what the fuck? And then there was gonna be a whole like little cycle of revenge. That's why I feel like they couldn't take that approach with it. I feel like Lev and Yara shouldn't have been in the game. I feel like all they should have did for Abby was show us her backstory, show her why she did it, and show us how revenge can just take a negative effect on you and make you a more ruthless person like it was doing with Ellie. I wish they made the goal of the game clear, because you know, The Last of Us 1 wasn't just a basic revenge story, it was like an actual story with layers, I feel. So if you're gonna make The Last of Us 2 just a simple revenge story, at least do it right and show the character getting revenge, because they had me in the first half of the game with the story. When they killed Joel, that really got me. Like, I felt Ellie's energy, right? Once they showed Abby's backstory, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad to see The Last of Us from like everybody's perspective. I'm glad to see that Joel was the bad guy in The Last of Us 1, right? I'm glad to see that. But now it's time to play as Ellie and do what I came here to do, because then I feel like if they're gonna just paint Joel to be the bad guy in The Last of Us 1, all they had to do was just show Joel's development to like a kind of a good guy, and then that would have just justified Abby dying, and that would have made this revenge story good. The ending was just confusing and it was just lacking, honestly. Ellie went to go get revenge on Abby, found Abby, fought her for a minute in the very uncomfortable looking fight, because they humanized Abby so much to a point where like the fight just didn't even seem right. It was just like, what the fuck is this? After the fight, she goes home to find out that her girlfriend Dina was so sick of her taking revenge on people that she just fucking left her, and her baby is also gone, and by the way, she lost 2 fingers. I feel like the game was a masterpiece up until you played as Abby, and it could have been a masterpiece even if you played as Abby if they just cut off Abby's gameplay to you discovering her backstory and why she killed Joel. I really did not care or have to see Abby's development with her friends. I really did not have to see Lev and Yara. Lev and Yara shouldn't have been in the game, although I love their characters. They just kind of ruined the fucking game. That's just my thoughts on the ending, and goodbye.